So the sneak peek leak for Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 27 has just been released, and what we do end up seeing is that Jura has made his way into the Leaf Village. But it doesn't appear like it is in a way to capture or even harm anybody. He is just chilling, eating this Japanese snack. I completely forgot what the name of this snack was. We used to see this all the time in Naruto. Various characters used to eat it, especially that one character that ended up becoming fat. But we see Jura just chilling, minding his business, eating his snack, and we probably are seeing him drink the canned version of the teacup that we used to see back in the days, or maybe this is beer. But we know that Jura is a newborn, so he shouldn't really be drinking any sort of beer. But jokes aside, this is a lovely panel that we do end up seeing, and it is pretty much hinting at the fact that we're seeing Jura just explore various things. And one thing that is interesting is that they can actually eat. The Shinju can eat. Doesn't mean that the Ten-Tails could actually eat and enjoy food back in the days. Maybe that is something that we're being told. And could this be telling us that maybe the Nine-Tail beasts like Kurama could potentially even eat like regular food just to try it? Probably they don't need to eat food. It's just something that they would like to try, which is something pretty interesting regarding the Shinju. But I really like this aspect of Jura's character that Ikimoto is deciding to show to us, just his chill side, a fact that you can't really see him as this evil person. It just appears to be his instincts. Jura is wanting to devour Himawari, and it's something that I struggled with to look at in the past, just simply due to the fact that we can't necessarily judge Jura or say that Jura is evil due to the simple fact that it is what his instincts are telling him to do, almost like it's his purpose. This is what he's supposed to do as an entity. So looking at it as wrong is not necessarily something that is fair to do. But when you look at Jura, we see that there's various other people around him. And from the text that is being shown to us, this is what is being said. We have Inogen that says seriously, so he was probably notified by either Kashin Koji or maybe by his mother, but he ends up noticing that Jura is here. And we have Shikamaru who says, I've had the sensory team report it, it's just in case, but the reality is that there is nothing we can do but leave it be. I've also instructed the police force not to get involved. So yeah, just like Kashin Koji said in the past, when Jura comes into the village, he's not going to be on some reckless things. He's not going to try and damage the village. He's going to be on some peaceful vibes. So do not bother Jura at all, because if you make him mad, then we're going to see Jura flip his side and say F the leaf and then go crazy, get Himawari and do whatever he wants, because we do end up knowing that Himawari being in the village is basically the only thing that is preventing her from being eaten. So this is where things get kind of interesting, because we do end up knowing that Himawari is involved in those future scenes that we saw Kashin Koji see using the 10 directions. So what exactly is going to take place? Is it going to be that Jura actually gets angered while he's in the village, leading to him saying F the village, I'm just gonna go get my target and move on to something else? This could potentially be something that we see, but I personally would like to see maybe like an interaction between Jura and either a child or a human that is sitting by, not really judging Jura in the way that he or she is not scared of Jura and actually goes by and sits next to Jura. We see Jura have a conversation, not with a ninja, but with a regular person. How would Jura look at that person? How would Jura feel to have a conversation with a regular citizen of the Leaf? This is something that I'd like to see, not a store owner, not anybody that's giving Jura a service, but somebody who's genuinely curious in talking with Jura, and somebody that Jura would also be curious to talk to. This could be something that could lead to Jura's maybe switching to the good side, as we know that they are not evil people. They are simply following their instincts. I don't really know what we could see with Jura's character as of late, but it is something that is very interesting. And these slower moments that we're seeing, it really makes me believe that we're going to see Ikimoto not rush these characters. He's really going to be taking his time, and that's what I'm here for. I don't care how long it lasts. What I want to see is these characters being written to their full potential, as somebody like Jura has a lot of potential for things that he can do. But what is also interesting to me is that we have Jura that has this idea or principle of not attacking the leaf, at least not destroying it, due to the beautiful food that he is eating and the books that he gets to read. So what about the Shinju? Is he going to make the Shinju have the same mindset where they're not supposed to actually destroy the leaf or even attack it? Which would make the fact that Mamushi is going to appear into the leaf a little bit different. Or is it that Jura gives them free will? As they basically have unlocked free will and awareness, they are now capable of making their own decisions. And just like in the past we saw with Matsuri and Ryu, we know that Jura doesn't intervene in their decisions. Not only because he may view it as their own free will, but also due to the fact that due to their creativity, due to their own actions and the feelings they get to manifest and feel by these various human interactions, we see that Jura is capable of feeling and learning more about these various emotions. So although they're not one biological unit, by observing each and every one of their actions, Jura is capable of learning more and more about the world around him. This is why he tends not to interfere in the issues of the Shinju, so it is quite possible that Mamushi attacks, and although we know that Jura loves the village, he doesn't do much of anything and continues to mind his own business. Or maybe he is in the village at the time just talking to some random people before Mamushi ends up making a move. That is one aspect regarding the Shinju that we could potentially see. But what is quite interesting is that maybe some people have mentioned it in the comments that the next chapter wouldn't really go into the battle between Damien and Mamushi, because we did hear that it was going to happen. Yes, I do remember that being discussed, but the fact that they said 1 week does still give them a little bit more time before it ends up taking place. So maybe this next chapter ends up going back straight to Damien, Sarada, and Sumire. I personally thought that it's gonna be like a fake cliffhanger where we don't actually end up seeing them fight and they end up resolving this conflict peacefully, but maybe we see a little short skirmish between them. Or we could potentially go back to the remnants of this interaction between Kawaki and Amato, where we finally get to see, did Kawaki give Akabe his karma, and that extra plot point be manifested, where we would see a potential either opponent for the future or a potential ally that could come to be. But knowing that Amato is involved, I have no hope about it being in the favor of the leaf, or at least I have no hope of it working as intended. A Otsutsuki is definitely going to be created. That's my personal opinion. But that is an aspect that we could definitely see the next chapter explore, or even the fact of Boruto's deal with Momoshiki. It feels like we're not going to hear much about it until he uses the karma, but we could see a little bit of a training arc in these brief moments that Boruto could have, where he is either trying to develop a technique hinting towards a way of defeating Jura, or he is working towards something, working towards reaching out to a specific person, maybe in Tonori. But there are various things that we could see being explored in this next chapter. I think the cliffhanger is going to be either Mamushi catching Ida off guard. I really think we're going to see Mamushi touch Ida in this chapter, and yeah, this is definitely what he's been wanting to do for a while now. But are they going to be caught off guard? Have Shikamaru already told them about everything that is going to take place and about the weaknesses that he has? And are we going to potentially see Damien have some info regarding the fact that we have some people, we have a collage of people in the leaf, a collection of those people in the leaf that are working with Boruto. The fact that we have Ida, the fact that we have Sarada and Sumire in a way, and we also have Shikamaru, and we also have Shikamaru and Inogen. Those collection of people are working with Boruto to end up helping the leaf. Is he going to be one of those people that join? As we do know that Damien at times doesn't really care about anything that is happening. When he sees something cool that is going to happen, or when Ida's life is in danger, that's when we usually see Damien step in. So is it going to be an attitude that he keeps on for the rest of the series, or is it going to be something that he changes with, where he has his own will and own desire to enact his plan or to protect somebody apart from Ida? This is probably what lies in Damien's character for the series to come. But you guys let me know your thoughts, comments, and concerns about everything that we discussed in this video. It's been your boy Dynasty, and I'm out, bruh.